Hello everyone and welcome to another raid video. My name is Rubixy and today I am going to be talking about the champions that I enjoy using in Clan Boss and the champions I think you might want to use also. This is going to be solely my opinion and ones that I have used rather than ones I've seen on the internet. For example, obviously you've got champions like Krisk, who are really good. You've got champions like Brogni, who's also really good. But obviously, I don't have them. RNG hasn't blessed me with those champions yet, so I can't make any comment on my personal use of them. But because I haven't used them. But before I get into it, if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to consider clicking that subscribe button. You guys have been absolutely fantastic hitting that button lately, and I do always appreciate the support. You guys are absolute legends. And with that being said, let's get into it. So, the first one, let me just pop over to my roster real quick. The first one I'm going to mention is, I'm just going to go from the top to bottom. So the first one I'm going to mention is Razan. I think he's exceptionally good. His damage is fantastic, and he also has this skill which not only does a good amount of damage with it itself, it also places a decreased defense and weaken, so it means the clan boss is going to take a lot more damage from other skills. And one thing I've actually only recently found out by playing it myself is decreased defense actually increases the amount of damage you'll do from your tier 6 mastery. So for example, in Ultra Nightmare, the default damage you do from your tier 6 mastery is 34,000 damage, extra damage, whereas with this, it increases that to around about 50k, which is quite a lot, especially if you're hitting, if you're getting that proc constantly. So he's brilliant for that. But you also have a triple hit, which does do a lot of damage, and because it's based on defense, you can build him out to survive as well as do a lot of damage. I wouldn't recommend using this on Clan Boss, so if you're doing it on auto, switch this off. There's no point. And of course, this is for arena battles only, so we're not talking about the arena today. So Razan, I would 100% recommend. He is fantastic. The next one, I don't know how Sigmund is because I haven't used him myself, so I'm not going to think it. I would say is a bit, I mean, apart from, yeah, no, I don't think I wouldn't recommend using him for Clan Boss. Okay, the next one is Mr. Roshcard. Absolutely instrumental to my team. He is just really good. I'd say he's about 4.5 to 5 star rating for Clan Boss because he enables unkillable teams. Obviously, along with another champion, he can't do it on his own. Unless maybe you have a Kaima. I don't really know how that would work, but he is very good. Not only does he place the block damage, he also does this. So obviously this isn't anything for the clan boss unless you want to stop him getting an attack, but for other content this works. And again, this is alright. I just wouldn't, there's no point using this because if you're unkillable or block damage, you're not dying from the clan boss's hits. So if he's got an increased attack on, it's not really going to do much difference. So yeah, but yeah, the reason why I'm saying he's really good is because he's instrumental in my team. He's fantastic, and I love using him. The next one is Mrs. Godseeker Aniri. She is also an exceptionally good champion. She's really good everywhere, by the way, not just in Clan Boss, but she obviously has the AoE heal. So if you're using that on the Clan Boss, everyone's healing, and of course it's a 3-turn cooldown, so it ticks by pretty quickly. But not only that, she also just heals all the time. She's a healer. She's brilliant. She heals just by hitting, and then obviously she uses A2 to heal even more. And not only that, she also extends debuffs. Sorry, not debuffs, buffs, which is brilliant. So if you've got like an increased defense on that you can't keep on all the time because the cooldowns aren't right, you could extend that and keep it on. I'm gonna be trying to go really quick through these, by the way. Rise of Glory. Perfectly really good. Revives the dead ally with 50% HP and fills their tomb meter by 50% and resets the cooldowns, which is great. So if your Cold Heart, for example, not your Cold Heart, sorry, if your Razan has died and you want to get his, his decreased weaken back out, just revive him and he'll go for it and he'll use it. It's absolutely fantastic skill. And of course the passive, so increases the amount of healing allies receive by 10%. Really good, especially for things like lifesteal if you've not got a mastery on yet. If the ally is about to get killed by a fatal hit, preempts that and instantly places a revive on death. I've seen this being used on her as well. She uses that for herself. I'm almost certain she does too. Absolutely fantastic. The next one is Warcaster. Again, just like Roshcard, absolutely enables an unkillable team, well, block damage team. Absolutely fantastic champion. I'd say other than... I don't think these two skills are really going to do much for the clan boss. It's this. This is his main skill. But he does okay damage. But yeah. So the next one is Mr. Geo. Absolute top champion. 100% an epic, a legendary in disguise. He is perfect. Not because of this, but because of these two. So if you manage to get HP burn on now, just to let you know, my sort of recommendation is if you can't get a 2-to-1 ratio, make sure he's going 1-to-1. So if it's Nightmare, you're going to need at least just over 170 speed. If it's Ultra Nightmare, you're going to need just over 190 speed. Because that enables his HP burn to be on the correct times. You want Geomancer's HP burn to be on every time the clan boss does his AoE hits, because that's where you're going to get the most damage, because of his passive, which I was just about to go on to. So this decreases the damage all allies receive by 15%. There is no cooldown or anything, and reflects damage onto each enemy under a HP burn debuff. So basically it means that if the enemy's got an HP burn, every time it hits you, it puts that the damage goes back onto the enemy, and also has an extra chance of dealing extra damage, which is brilliant for clan boss. I've seen him do 20-30 million damage. He is very, very good, and if I can get him into my team again, I absolutely am going to. The next one is Sepulture. Again, just like Godseeker, really good for survivability, also pretty decent for damage as well, I think. But also this. Attacks one enemy, it has a 40% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. That's brilliant because it enables the clan boss to do less damage if you're not going block damage or unkillable. She places that, and then, well, like I've just said, the clan boss does less damage because of the decreased attack. It's pretty much 50% decreased damage in a way, and just completely enables survivability. This next one places a 60% increased defense and a block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns. This is brilliant, especially for when the clan boss is doing its whole decreased speed thing, which is why I'm not really touching Nightmare today, because I know I'm not going to be able to do much with it. I definitely need a Doom Priest. 2 times Ancients is coming up in just over a week. I'm hoping I can grab Doom Priest. I'll be very happy with the Doom Priest, that's for sure. But this is brilliant. Really good skill, and only a 4-turn cooldown as well. So if you can get her speed up, then you've got block debuffs on quite often. I'm not going to say all the time because I've tried that out. It's not going to be on every single turn, but unless you can get it extended, Mrs. Godseeker can extend that. But yeah, other than that, she places that, but also this has a 25% chance of completely blocking incoming damage when an ally is attacked. It occurs once per turn and will only block damage for the targeted ally if multiple allies are attacked at the same time. So perfect for clan boss. If an AoE is hit, she's got a chance of stopping damage completely, again enabling survivability. So she's brilliant for survivability. Seeker is the next one. Again, a brilliant all-round champion, and enables extra attack, because again this doesn't matter for clan boss, but this fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%, places a 50% increased attack I'm going to keep saying debuff then, buff on all allies for 2 turns, and gives him an extra turn. Again, without him, my clan boss team wouldn't work. Obviously, unless I got the speeds completely up, but absolutely fantastic champion, perfect for clan boss. I'm going to skip Royal Guard because I don't really think he's perfect for clan boss. I do think there are better champions out there, but he is also, I think, a decent champion. The next one, Mr. Farakin, currently in my main team, mainly because of all of them. This enables a decreased defense, which means, again, like I said before, means that you're going to do more damage to the clan boss. Excuse me, not only that, it places a HP burn and 2 5% poisons. He's just a brilliant champion, easily one of my favourites, and without him, I wouldn't be doing a lot of damage. And also this places a 30% increased crit rate and crit damage on all allies except this champion, so he won't do anything. Then everyone except him will attack. So you basically means everyone's going to get like an extra turn that doesn't count as an extra turn. So like it doesn't do anything to the cooldowns, but it means everyone's doing their A1 skill. So if you've got someone like an Anax who's doing like a lot of damage with his A1, you use Farakin's skill, he's going to do extra damage. It's just as simple as that, and it's really good. And also this, so deflects 20% of all incoming damage on this champion onto all allies equally. So it basically means that he'll take 20% less damage. Everyone will take a little bit more damage. I think if it's 3 others, it's going to be. Is it 3? No, it's 4 others. So it's going to be 5% damage will be spread onto them each time. So sort of better for survivability because it means he survives a bit longer. The next one is Vorgoth. Again, another top tier champion for clan boss. I think he's absolutely fantastic, mainly because of his passive, which means all ally. Oh no, That one. Leech gets placed all the time, which enables, again, like I said plenty of times in this video, survivability. It basically means that, you know how lifesteal means your champions heal via how much damage they do? That's what Leech is. It's pretty much the exact same thing. It's lifesteal without having lifesteal on. I mean, if you've got accuracy, the clan boss is going to have that on for every single turn. And also this. So I attacked one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of increasing the duration of one random debuff, which is a pretty decent skill. You know, it's not as good as I think is his name Vizier, the one that does it all the time. But other than that, absolutely fantastic champion, top tier again. My personal favourite here, Occult Brawler, the Poison Beast. He plays his poisons like it's nothing. He's as good as Carvalax. I'm not going to mention Carvalax, by the way, because I haven't used him in Clan Boss yet. I haven't built him for Clan Boss. And apologies if I am speaking too quickly. I'm trying to not make this video too long. But anyway, back to Occult. He places poisons without actually having a go. So places a 2.5% poison on himself, but then has a 70% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff on a random enemy for 4 turns at the start of each turn. So basically it means that if you've got accuracy and this is placing 9 times out of 10, the clan boss is you're gonna be doing at least about 400k damage without actually doing anything. But not only that, he does have an A1, which means he also places poison, which can go up to, I think, that's 60% of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns, which I think is 50,000 damage per pop on Clan Boss. But not only that, he does have an A2. I don't use this A2 myself in Clan Boss because I like him to be the stun target, and obviously if he's healing, that means the stun target might switch to another champion, and I don't want that. So I don't use this, but it is a good skill. I'm not going to go through all of this, but basically it means that if the more poisons he has, the more stuff he can do. Basically, like, you know, for example, here, ignore defense, he also heals himself, enemies can't be revived, etc. But I don't personally use this, like I said. I wouldn't really recommend using this. You know, you just want them poisons popping. If it's got block damage, he isn't going to take any damage anyway. And if you've got things like the Life Drinker, he's always going to stay at around about 50% HP. So he's not going to die from his own poisons when block damage isn't on, sort of mid-turn. But, you know, with the Life Drinker, he's always going to stay at 50% because the poisons will eventually get rid of him. The next one, I'm going to go with Coffin Smasher. Again, simply because of this. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 15% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack. It's just brilliant. And all this, and this as well, decreases the damage enemies inflict with AoE hits. So again, mitigates the amount of damage the clan boss does, but not only that, that as well. It is just, again, a fantastic champion. And I haven't used him for ages. Definitely I don't really use him for this especially, but I haven't used him for a while, and he's pretty much been phased out of my team now. But again, this is just another champion I recommend. If you do pull him, especially for you, for people who are lower in the grid, if you are early game, sort of hitting hard, maybe even brutal, 100% if you get Coffin Smasher, 60 him as quickly as you can. I would say a lane because I used it at the start, but I wouldn't recommend using it for clan boss unless you've got no one else for damage. Just wouldn't recommend using it. Next one I think is Apothecary. I don't use Apothecary that much in Clan Boss because obviously I've got Seeker, but I have used him in the past on other accounts, and I will say he's just brilliant. Increases speed, he heals constantly, and he's got a triple hitter, which is good for the T6 mastery if it does proc. All in all, really good champion. You want to build him as quickly as possible to keep your team going. Haikatoon, again, similar to Apothecary, just increased speed, but to be honest, other than that, doesn't really do much for a clan boss. Again, I wasn't going to talk about Carvalax because I haven't used him yet. I do intend to, by the way. I want to try him out. Right, on to the 50s. By the way, I will be getting Arbor to 60. I've just been doing other champions. For example, I think Sil was 60 recently. And I want to try and get the ones that, like, for example, Arbiter is good at 50, so, you know. Who else? I think Madame Cerise is good for clan boss. Just because of the whole decreased attack, decreased defense thing, but other than that, she doesn't do anything else. She does place a shield on herself, which I guess helps for survivability, but other than that, yeah. But I'd say if you pull her early and you haven't got any of the decreased defense, decreased attack champions, definitely use her. I think she's good. The other big boy here, Kale, or Kyle, I think he's pronounced. Again, I haven't used him on this account, but I have used him on other accounts. Just like Occult, he is a brilliant poisoner. Poison on his A1, this I wouldn't really use, and then poison on his A3, with 4 opportunities of placing a poison, and they're all 5% as well. So I guess if you've got Occult and a Kale running around, poisons ain't going to be an issue. Who else have we got that I would recommend? Let's have a look. Here we go. Stagnite again, simply for the decreased defense, decreased attack, and then this as well. Increased accuracy. So if you've got someone who's struggling to place poisons, that's your person. We've got Aox here. If I'm skipping anyone, please let me know. But like I said, this is just off what I've used and what I've seen, what I've used in the past. The next champion I'm going to talk about is Aox. He is just like KL and Occult, brilliant for poison. Absolutely fantastic. He also heals all allies by 10% of their max HP. He heals each ally by an extra 2.5% for each debuff on the target. Again, just a healer. Also a poisoner. Absolutely fantastic. And then he's got decreased attack and decreased crit rate. This basically means that the clan boss won't crit rate you. This just won't crit rate you. Absolutely brilliant. Oh wait, actually, I've just reread that. On the if they have a 50% auto meter after the decrease, maybe that might not work. But either way, it's a good poisoner, so maybe you just want the A1 and the A2 to be going. And then this increases the duration of 2 random debuffs on the attacker by 1 turn when attacks occurs once per hit. Fantastic, especially if he's got poisons on him. So him, KO, Calvalax, Occult, all brilliant poisoners. Speaking of another poisoner, I seem to know my thing about poisons, quite like him. Juliana. Now, I know some people might think she's a bit meh, but for me, I've used her in the past. She's done pretty good things for me. So she has A1, so basically means that she's getting more turn meter. You know, it's pretty good. But this places an increased crit rate, and it places a 5% debuff on the target for 3 turns if this attack is critical. So if you've got crit rate, the poison's going on all the time, which is really good. And then this HP burn is also very helpful as well. And I think finally, I don't really think I've got anyone else to talk about, unless, again, if you know anyone that I haven't talked about, please let me know. But Tyrell, he's really good. Stun doesn't do anything, but this does a lot of damage. You've got this decreased defense, and then obviously decreased defense. The sleep won't get placed, so it doesn't really matter. But once again, extra damage, and then he's also an A1 decreased attack. Whew, I've talked a lot in this video. I obviously have missed a couple like Anax. I just haven't used them yet. There's probably a couple of others that I haven't talked about, but once again, these are just ones that I have used myself. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've learned a lot from this video if you are a new player. I hope I've helped you out a bit. I do appreciate all the support, like I've said, especially on my recent videos. I've been doing very, very well. The subscribers are going up, so yeah, if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button and you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to consider clicking it if I can get my words out. But thank you very much for watching, and until the next video, I will see you then. Goodbye.